Hi, everybody. This is Steve. I'm just sitting here in my hotel room in San Francisco. Going to get on a flight to Amsterdam to go do some training for some business partners. And this is some content that I'm making for our Extraordinary Courage Tribe, which is a free group. I encourage you to join. You can join at ectribe.com. ectribe.com. Anyways, I want to share with you one of my favorite stories, and it's the leadership lesson I learned from my dog. When I was 40, my wife bought me a puppy. And I like big dogs. I love dogs. I had, for a long time, wanted a dog breed called a Dogo Argentino. And these are an all-white Argentinian wild boar hunting dogs. They're probably one of the most freakishly engineered dogs out there. I didn't really want to pay $1,200 for a puppy, so I got this one, half Dogo and half pit bull, off of Craigslist. And when I brought him home, this type of dog requires kind of next level dog ownership skills. And when I brought him home, I very quickly trained him to be chill, right? Because he was going to be very big and very strong, and I have small kids in the house. He needed to be obedient and not aggressive. And we did a great job of that. He was very obedient. He wouldn't even play tug of war with you. He's like, Mom, you take it. It's fine, right? But he became 90 pounds of solid steel. I mean, I'm telling you, you could slap that dog on the butt so hard your hand would sting, and he wouldn't even acknowledge that anything had ever happened, right? But not long after we had kind of a turbulent time in our life. It was 2008, 9. At that time, when the whole world economy went down the toilet, my personal economy did as well. And our family was slightly uprooted. And long story short, we needed to move to Florida. Well, problem is, you're not going to rent a place with that dog. Wrong breed, wrong size. Forget about it. And so here I am in Florida, freaked out. What am I going to do? And my friend in Georgia says, hey, I know a guy who lives here in Georgia. He hunts hogs with his dogs. Your dog would probably be very happy spending the rest of his life hunting hogs. Now, to give you a bit of perspective on this, especially if you don't understand about wild boar and hogs in the U.S., they breed like rats. They destroy farms. They get big. They get aggressive. A normal pig, after a couple of generations in the wild, will grow tusks. So they're strong. They're aggressive. They got razor sharp tusks. And there's in terms of hunting, there's open season, open limit. People in Texas fly around in helicopters and shoot them with machine guns. They're that plentiful and that much of a disaster. Well, hunting hogs with dogs is quite the gladiator level endeavor. It's very dangerous for the dogs. So the dogs are supposed to chase the boar down, grab them, hold them till the hunter gets there, and the hunter will either shoot the hog or dispatch the hog with a very large hunting knife. Anyways, so the dogs, because of the very sharp razors, tusk on the boar, the dogs they'll wear a Kevlar collars and Kevlar vests often to protect themselves, right? So we're talking about gladiator level sport. So I'm like, okay, well, my dog, his parents met on a hog hunting trip. So he's literally the breeding was the result of a hog hunting trip, okay? And I'm like, okay, well, it's probably best. So I took him up there, and I said to the guy, I'm like, okay, so just so you know, my dog is an escape artist. And the guy looked at me like, I'm going to put him in the kennel. What's he going to get out of the kennel? I'm like, oh, man, I'm just telling you. So my baby boy, my buddy, like, he's staring at me from the kennel going, why are you leaving me here? It just kind of broke my heart. But I'm like, okay, it's going to be best for him, right? And so a few weeks later, I'm talking to my friend John again. And John's like, hey, man, just want to let you know, I just talked to Barrett, the dog's new owner, Monty, my dog's name, he goes, Monty won't catch. Like he won't do what he won't go after the pig and grab a hold of him. He goes, he likes him as a pet, but he can't keep him as a pet. He needs to earn his keep. I'm like, oh, what am I going to do? I can't go and get him. So I pray and I'm like, God, you got to handle this for me. I'll let you take care of it. Well, a couple months later, I'm talking to my friend John again. And John's like, hey man, do you want to know what happened to Monty? I'm like, yeah, what happened to Monty? He goes, well, initially, they would put him in pens with like a 100-pound pig and he wouldn't do anything. Finally, they put him in a pen with a 250-pound boar. And he goes, he walks up to the boar turns around and beats the crap out of him for like 2 minutes. Monty, gets up, the boar walks away. Monty gets up, shakes himself off, looks at the boar, barks once, charges him, knocks him to the ground. He would run into things with his chest like a battering ram. Boom! Knocks him to the ground, grabs a hold of him. He goes, they had to literally pry his jaws open with a stick to get him to let go of this pig. They're like, maybe it's a fluke. So they separated him. Bam! He's on that pig like white on rice. Okay. He goes, your dog has turned into a hog hunting maniac. He pushes all the other dogs out of the way. And when I tell you I was proud of my dog, like had my own son score the winning Super Bowl touchdown, I might have been more proud. I was like, yes, that's my guy, right? And the lesson in all this is this. Despite your circumstances, despite what has shown up in your life, you have fundamental, stunningly beautiful potential. It is in you now, right? And that's just what I want to encourage people with. It's like there's, one of the top leadership coaches I've ever met, David Bird, who helped a company go from 0 to $1 billion in cumulative sales in under 5 years, once said this. He goes, there's greatness in everybody. When I heard him first say that, I'm like, really, David? Like, everybody? Like, have you met some of these people? He's like, no, there's greatness in everybody. Anyways, so I just want to encourage you, either encourage you that there's greatness in you, or if you're a leader, man, start seeing the potential in people and speak it over them and pull it out of them, because there's greatness in everybody, despite circumstances or past performance.